Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Chasing Psychological Safety. Just me today. Fiona is on the other side of the world, but I wanted to talk to you about something that's really dear to me and really near all our hearts at People Not Tech. We have decided to put our time and our effort and consequently our money really where our mouths are and help in a very tangible way, which is we have launched something called the No Human Debt Startup Program that will allow 20 startups who are at a growth phase, anywhere under 200 employees, to avail themselves of our human work platform, aka our psychological safety dashboard, and to start on the right foot. What we mean by that has been detailed in the article we wrote yesterday, and we're going to write a little bit about this in the text of this today as well. But essentially, what we're referring to is the fact that we keep talking about how the human debt has come to exist, right? And we know that when it comes to big incumbents, that journey is quite clear. It has started at the very beginning of the way that they were doing business, and it has continued since then. And realistically, that type of cycle can repeat over and over again, and it will repeat over and over again for any startup coming into the scene, unless they take very calculated measures so that it doesn't happen. And speaking as a founder of multiple startups, I don't need to tell you or anyone else how tough it is. It genuinely is not an easy gig. And the constraints and the constant demands can be overwhelming as founding members of a startup. Everyone I've ever met who has put together a new idea and is trying to make it into reality in terms of a startup has very clear knowledge of the fact that people matter most. You won't find any startup founder who is not going to tell you that culture eats strategy for breakfast, that people are most important, that they should put their people first, they care about how they build a team and so on. All of that is true. But from that to actually doing anything in practice, there's a gap. And that gap chiefly refers to the fact that most of these places don't even necessarily have people. They don't necessarily need people. There's plenty of startups that are growing now on the very agile idea of we don't need people. What we need practically is really smart tech and operational people who are willing to do the people work. But what doesn't exist, irrespective of job titles, is an ability to, even if they meant it, for these founders to kind of let their teams deal with their own dynamics and do the people work. So what we've decided to do, obviously our tool exists, obviously tools like ours exist, but what happens many times is that even at the smallest numbers we can envision, the cost of having this type of a human work platform in a startup can be prohibiting. So what we've done is we're offering 20 companies the ability of getting in at the ground level, of laying the right foundations, of having the cornerstone of the human work happen by getting in on our software for a really symbolic amount for the entire year. So unless I'm mistaken, I believe we're talking about £2,999 a year for everyone in the company, irrespective of the amount of teams, irrespective of the amount of team members. As long as the company is under 200 employees, then we're more than happy to extend that, which is a really heavily discounted price. So that the human work has a space, so that the human work has an artifact, so that the human work can be done. And so why not free? We, kind of, if we're going to overextend ourselves, why not free? Well, for one thing, we all know that anything that's free is not being valued. For a second thing, making the human work seem inconsequential some more is a bad idea. Setting the tone that we don't need to be investing in the human work is a bad idea. And lastly, obviously, there's time investment for our coaches or consultants doing some of this stuff. So we don't want them to be out of pocket, just like we would be for the software. So get in touch with us. We want to help you start at the right level. We want you to be the next Netflix or the next GitHub or the next, whatever it is that's your role model. You can almost be guaranteed that they have gone through a path of people first. And we are helping you lay the brickwork for a people first culture by giving you the software and the tools that you should have in place to start this at the foundational level. So get in touch, tell us a little bit more about yourself. For the companies that are interested in this, we're more than happy to outline their work and make a big fuss of them in our social channels. It's a good opportunity for the world to see how serious you are in your people work, whether the world is potential companies that might buy you, or your investors, or really just your customers who will see this in the amazing outcomes that your teams are going to be able to produce once they have their human platform in place. So come get in touch with us, send us something to contact@peoplenotech.com, or wait for the form that's going to be included in this article. Fill it in, tell us a little bit more about yourself, why you think the people work matters, and hopefully we get to set you up for success. Best of luck. Bye.